What if I told you there are certain grocery items sitting quietly on store shelves right now that in just a few months could completely vanish? Not because of panic buying, but because the supply chains feeding America are already breaking down. Prices have jumped over 40% in just the past 5 years, and USDA analysts warn we could see another surge before the holidays. And here's the kicker, some grocery chains are already testing quiet purchase limits, the kind most shoppers don't even notice until it's too late. I've been digging into the data, talking with store managers, even reviewing what collapsed during past shortages. And I can tell you, there are specific staples that disappear first. The families who know which ones to grab will be sitting comfortably while everyone else is fighting over scraps. Let's break them down, starting with the basics. Number 1. Rotation and realism. Store what you eat what you store. Now stocking up sounds easy. Buy in bulk, stack it high, and feel secure. But here's the ugly truth. More than 30% of household food in the US gets wasted every year. Not because it expired naturally, but because it was buried and forgotten. You know that stale box of crackers or the flour bag crawling with pantry mods? That's what happens when we stockpile without a system. Here's the fix. Use the FIFO rule. First in, first out. Every grocery store uses it, and so should you. Mark dates in bold, rotate older items forward, and actually eat what you store. UNH food preservation researchers found that rotation alone can cut home food waste in half. That's not just food saved. That's money in your pocket. And please, don't overload your pantry like those doomsday TikToks. Cramming shelves until they bow invites pests and heat. Think like you're running your own little store. Neat rows, visible dates, monthly check-ins. Trust me, when shelves are stripped bare, you'll be calm and confident instead of staring at spoiled food. Number 2. Dried beans and lentils. Let's talk about a true survival powerhouse. Bean. Not the canned stuff, but dried beans and lentils. Scientists tested 30-year-old pinto beans and found they still held over 90% of their nutrition. That's insane shelf life. And here's why this matters. Bean prices are already spiking up nearly 30% since last fall, and weather damage in North Dakota and Michigan has cut U.S. yields hard. Meanwhile, processors in Minnesota are running at barely 60% capacity because of labor shortages. That means higher prices and fewer supplies. So which beans should you grab? Black beans for antioxidants, pintos for versatility, kidney beans for hearty meals, and red lentils because they cook in 15 minutes flat. Bonus tip, split pea. They're often overlooked, but they cook even faster, store for decades, and make rich filling soups with almost nothing else added. Storage hack. Skip those flimsy store bags. Transfer beans to airtight glass or mylar with oxygen absorber. Toss in a bay leaf, nature's secret weapon against weevils. I learned that the hard way when I lost an entire stash to pantry pests. Bottom line, beans and lentils aren't just cheap filler food. When rice and meat prices explode, they become liquid gold. Number 3. Pasta. Most people think pasta is just pasta, but that's where they're wrong. In a real emergency, the type you store could mean the difference between eating like a survivor or eating like a king. According to the USDA, global wheat yields dropped more than 20% in the last year, thanks to extreme weather hammering top producers. That's why pasta shelves could get slimmer real soon. But smart preppers don't just grab any box, they choose the right kinds. Go for durum wheat pasta first. It keeps its bite, doesn't turn mushy, and lasts longer in storage. Next, stock small shapes like orzo and ditalini. Why? They boil fast, which means you use less water and fuel. Huge advantages if resources get tight. And here's a chef's trick. Check the protein content. Anything 13% or higher will keep you fuller longer, and it's worth paying that extra few cents today. For long-term storage, vacuum seal pasta in 1-pound portions with oxygen absorbers. It'll stay fresh for years without losing quality. Just remember, skip the whole wheat versions. The natural oils make them spoil faster. Number 4. Canned tomatoes. Now let's talk flavor. Imagine having beans, rice and pasta stocked up. But every meal tastes bland. That's where canned tomatoes save the day. Believe it or not, canned tomatoes are actually healthier than fresh in one way. The heat from canning boosts the availability of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant. But here's the bad news. The California Tomato Growers Association reported nearly 40% of last season's crop was lost to frost. That's going to squeeze supply for 20. So here's how to prep smart. Keep a variety. Diced tomatoes for fast meals, crushed tomatoes for sauces, whole peeled for versatility, and tomato paste for bold flavor. Insider tip: choose cans packed in juice, not puree. The flavor is richer and the consistency is better for cooking. And if you want next level flavor, go for San Marzano style. They cost more, but they'll turn your survival pasta dinner into something unforgettable. Bonus tip: buy tomato paste in tubes instead of cans. Once opened, it lasts longer, and a tiny squeeze goes a long way. Number 5. Cooking oils, liquid survival fuel. Let's be real. Cooking oil isn't just about frying food, it's concentrated survival energy. Just 1 tablespoon holds 120 calories, more than most survival foods you could stockpile. And here's the scary part. Distributors are only filling a fraction of orders right now, and shortages are already hitting major US cities. Here's why this matters. During World War II, people literally survived on bread dipped in oil when everything else ran out. Coconut oil is especially powerful because it turns into quick energy for your brain and muscles, making it perfect in stressful or survival situations. Plus, it can stay good for up to 7 years if stored properly. But that's not all. Oil can also double as emergency fuel. With a wick, 1 bottle can burn for over 20 hours, giving you light and warmth when the grid goes down. Want to make your oil last longer? Store it in dark glass bottles and drop in a vitamin E capsule. It slows oxidation and extends shelf life. Stock coconut oil for longevity, olive oil for nutrients, and avocado oil for high heat cooking. Pro tip: restaurant supply stores often have plenty in bulk while grocery store shelves go empty. Number 6. Salt, the original preserver. Salt isn't just seasoning, it's survival gold. Your body can't function without it. Without sodium, muscles lock up, your nervous system fails, and your brain literally shuts down. But here's the incredible part. Salt never expires. Archaeologists have found salt that's thousands of years old, still perfectly usable. In survival, salt is priceless. Before freezers existed, people preserved meat, fish, and vegetables with it, keeping food safe for months. That same method can keep your pantry alive during modern shortages, and it's already becoming harder to find. Salt mines in Louisiana and other regions are running at reduced capacity, slowing deliveries nationwide. Don't just grab table salts, stock coarse salt too. It's a powerhouse for food preservation projects. Salt also doubles as a natural pest barrier around your food storage and can be mixed with water to make an emergency electrolyte drink when you're sick or exhausted. And if you want real nutritional insurance, go for pink Himalayan salt or sea salt. Those trace minerals become a lifeline when your diet is stripped down to basics. Number 7. Sugar and natural sweeteners, survival energy that never expires. Most people think sugar is just about satisfying a sweet tooth, but in survival it's pure concentrated energy. 1 spoonful gives your body instant fuel. And here's the wild part. Archaeologists discovered sugar in Egyptian tombs that was thousands of years old, and it was still good. Kept dry, sugar never expires. But here's the problem. Global supplies are shrinking. Brazil and India, 2 of the biggest sugar producers, have reported massive crop losses from extreme weather. A refinery contact even confirmed shipments are already slowing down. When crises hit, sugar becomes more than a luxury. It's a lifeline. It preserves food like jams and jellies, turns bland rations into edible meals, and delivers quick calories when you need them most. Storage matters. Keep white sugar in airtight containers with a bay leaf to stop clumping. For brown sugar, add a slice of bread or apple to keep it soft. Don't forget natural sweeteners either. Honey and maple syrup never spoil and pack antioxidants and minerals, giving you more nutrition than plain sugar. Pro tip: pre-mix sugar with cinnamon in small jars. It transforms oatmeal, bread, or even coffee into comfort food when your diet gets monotonous. Number 8. Canned meat, the protein lifeline. Canned meat doesn't sound exciting, but in survival it's a game changer. Fresh meat disappears first in every shortage, and when it does show up, the price skyrockets. That's why canned meat is survival gold. It's long-lasting, affordable, and loaded with complete protein your body needs. Here's the kicker. I once opened a can of chicken 5 years past its expiration date, and it was still perfectly safe. As long as the can isn't dented, rusted, or swollen, It's good far beyond the printed date. But here's the warning. Production is slow. Aluminum shortages are squeezing canning plants. Global fishing fleets are catching less. And poultry processors are still facing labor issues. That means the window to stock up is closing fast. Here's what to prioritize. Canned chicken for versatility, tuna for affordability, salmon for omega-3, and beef or pork for hearty, satisfying meals. Don't sleep on sardines or mackerel either. They're packed with vitamin D, calcium, and healthy fats most survival diets lack. Storage hack. Always rotate your stock, eating the oldest cans first, and don't waste the liquid inside. Use it as broth for soups or to add flavor to rice and beans. Pro tip, combine canned chicken with pasta, rice, or beans, and you've got a balanced, filling meal that stretches your pantry and keeps energy levels up when it matters most. Number 9. Flour, the foundation of survival. Flour isn't just food, it's morale. You can have beans, canned meat, and rice, but without bread, pancakes, or simple baked goods, life starts to feel bleak. Flour has literally sustained civilizations for thousands of years, and today, it's more critical than ever. Global wheat production is under serious strain, with crop failures in major regions and trade disruptions due to ongoing conflicts. A contact at a flour mill told me operations are at reduced capacity because of grain shortages, so the window to stock up is closing fast. Here's the storage truth. White flour lasts far longer than whole wheat. The oils in whole wheat go rancid quickly, giving it only about 6 months of shelf life, while white flour can last up to 2 years if stored correctly. Transfer it immediately to airtight containers, freeze it for 48 hours to kill bug eggs, and add bay leaves to repel pests. And don't just buy one type, keep all-purpose flour for everyday baking, bread flour for yeast breads, and self-rising flour for pancakes and quick breads. Learning basic bread making now could be a lifesaver when fresh bread disappears from store shelves. Vinegar, the miracle preservative. Vinegar is literally liquid gold in a survival situation. Archaeologists once discovered 2,000-year-old vinegar in China that was still perfectly preserved, more potent than modern versions. Right now, supplies are tightening. Acetic acid, the main component, is facing shortages, with major U.S. facilities reducing output and even rationing supplies to stores. Why stock it? Vinegar preserves food like nothing else. It can turn cabbage into sauerkraut, cucumbers into pickles, and even preserve meat for months without refrigeration. Stanford research shows vinegar also increases nutrient absorption from preserved foods, a huge advantage when every vitamin counts. And here's a secret most preppers miss. Vinegar kills 99.9% of bacteria, viruses, and mold spores, including dangerous pathogens like E. coli and Salmonella. During last year's hurricane in Louisiana, my friend Kate's stockpile of apple cider vinegar kept her family healthy when water quality became questionable. Storage tips. Keep vinegar in its original container away from light. Buy raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar for gut health, white vinegar for preservation and cleaning, and rice vinegar for flavor variety. Balsamic vinegar is more concentrated, so a little goes a long way. Perfect for long-term efficiency. Spices and seasonings. The flavor savers. Eating plain rice, beans, and pasta for weeks on end? That's not just boring, it can tank your morale and even make people avoid eating, which is dangerous when calories matter. Spices aren't just for flavor, they're survival tools. But here's the kicker. The global spice trade is in trouble. Extreme weather is slashing yields in major producing regions by up to 60%, and shipping costs have tripled. My contact at McCormick confirmed they're facing record supply challenges. Here's your must-have list. Garlic powder for umami, onion powder for depth, paprika for color and mild heat, chili powder for warmth, and cumin for earthy richness. These 5 alone can turn any bland emergency meal into something edible. Pro tip, buy whole spices whenever possible. Whole peppercorns, cumin seeds, and dried herbs keep their potency for years, while ground versions fade in months. Use airtight containers in cool, dark spaces. Think amber glass jars with tight-fitting lids. Secret prepper hack. Mix your own spice blends now. Curry powder, taco seasoning, or herb mixes. They take up less space, add variety to meals, and keep emergency cooking interesting when stores are bare. Powdered milk. The liquid insurance. Powdered milk isn't just dried milk, it's life insurance, in a can. Imagine a family in rural Texas during a 3-week ice storm in 20. Everyone else struggled with spoiled milk and no dairy, But this family thrived, thanks to powdered milk. Right now, U.S. dairy farmers in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and California are selling off herds at record rates. Feed costs have jumped 67% since 2022, and major processing plants are running at just 73% capacity. Here's the secret: powdered milk is often more nutritionally dense than fresh milk. Cornell University research shows the spray drying process concentrates vitamins, minerals, and complete proteins. 8 grams per serving, more than most protein bars. Properly stored, it can last 25 years and actually improve in nutritional value over time. Storage tips: transfer to airtight containers with oxygen absorbers, freeze for 48 hours to kill potential insect eggs, and make flavored mixes with cocoa, vanilla, or a touch of sugar to keep kids happy. Bonus: it's perfect for bread making, instant pudding, or desserts that require no refrigeration. Comfort food when times get tough. Alright, listen closely. These 12 pantry staples aren't just grocery items, they're insurance against rising prices, empty shelves, and real-life shortages. Families who survived past crises didn't get lucky, they prepared with the right foods, rotated their stock, and stored smart. Start small, grab an extra bag of rice this week, a few cans of tomatoes next week, and build steadily. Rotate what you eat and eat what you store.